The silent sabotage. Look at your life honestly. You're praying, you're fasting, you're faithful in attendance, yet year after year you find yourself in the same place, same struggles, same limitations, same unfulfilled dreams. What if I told you the problem isn't your devotion, but your thinking? You can worship on Sunday and worry on Monday. You can lift holy hands in church and entertain unholy thoughts on the drive home. This is the silent sabotage that keeps good people stuck. The enemy of your destiny isn't lurking in your circumstances, it's nesting in your thought patterns. You've been asking God to change your situation while refusing to change your mind. You've been crying out for breakthrough while holding on to broken thinking. Here's the hard truth. God will not override your mind to answer your prayers. He honors the will He gave you. If your thinking contradicts your confession, your thinking always wins. You are not stuck because God abandoned you. You are stuck because your mind has not yet caught up with your destiny.
If this video motivated you, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future content. Comment below and let me know.
The inversion of design. We have inverted the order of creation. We constantly try to fix the outside while leaving the inside untouched. But God's design has always been internal first. In the beginning, God spoke light into existence. But when He created humanity, He did something different. He formed man from dust and then breathed into him. Life came from the inside out. This is the pattern of the kingdom. You cannot produce externally what you do not possess internally. Religion has sold us a counterfeit. Behave better, try harder, do more. But the kingdom operates on a different frequency. Believe deeper, think differently, see accurately. Your behavior is simply the fruit of your belief system. You don't have a behavior problem, you have a thinking problem. You don't struggle with sin because you're weak. You struggle because your mind hasn't been fully convinced of truth. The prodigal son didn't return home because his circumstances improved. He returned because his thinking shifted. He came to himself, the scripture says. Before he ever got up and walked, he thought differently sitting down. Transformation always begins in the prayer deception. Let me expose something dangerous. Many believers have turned prayer into a substitute for thinking. They pray against the devil while harboring thoughts that give the devil access. They bind spirits while nurturing mindsets that invite bondage. Prayer is not magic, it is communication with a God who operates by principles. You cannot violate principles and expect prayer to override the consequences. If you plant corn, you harvest corn. You can pray over that cornfield all summer, but you will not harvest watermelons. This is not the limitation of prayer. This is the integrity of God's laws. Renewing your mind aligns you with those laws. When you think rightly, you pray differently. You stop begging God to do what He has already equipped you to do. You stop asking for what He has already given. You stop pleading for breakthrough and start walking in authority. A renewed mind doesn't beg, it enforces. It doesn't hope, it operates. It doesn't wonder if God will, it knows God has. The difference between survival and
the occupied territory. Your mind is occupied territory, and you are the occupying force. Whatever dominates your thinking dominates your life. This is why two people can face the same storm and experience completely different outcomes. One sees destruction, the other sees development. One sees loss, the other sees lessons. One sees the end, the other sees a setup for comeback. The storm doesn't determine the outcome, the mindset does. Let me give you a principle that will change everything. You cannot defeat in your life what you tolerate in your thinking. You cannot overcome fear if you keep rehearsing worst-case scenarios. You cannot overcome lack if you keep meditating on what you don't have. You cannot overcome sin if you keep entertaining the thought of it. What you permit in your mind, you promote in your life. The battlefield is won or lost in the 6 inches between your ears. David didn't defeat Goliath because he was stronger. He defeated Goliath because he saw something no one else saw. Not a giant too big to hit, but a target too big to miss. His mind.
The freedom equation. Freedom has a formula, and most believers have it backwards. We want freedom before truth. We want liberty before learning. We want victory before vision. But Jesus established the order. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Knowing precedes freedom. You cannot be free from what you do not understand. You cannot overcome what you have not accurately identified. This is why deliverance sessions don't always produce lasting change, because freedom is not an event, it is an education. Truth known transforms. Truth heard only entertains. The difference between belief and faith is the difference between agreement and action. You can agree with truth mentally while living completely contrary to it practically. That's not faith, that's frustration. Faith is truth that has traveled from your head to your hands. Faith is truth that shapes decisions, directs conversations, and determines directions. God is looking for people who will not just hear truth, but house it, not just receive it, but rehearse it until it becomes their automatic response. When you're
If this video motivated you, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future content. Comment below and let me know where you're watching from and what goal you're working toward. Share this video with someone who needs motivation today. Let's grow and win together.